Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and today I want to do a review on and history on the Revell AAR Cuda kits. And the reason I want to do this is, one, it's a car I really love. It's just so outrageous and so crazy for what was homologation special, and the fact that Mopar just kind of went pretty much all out on it, in my opinion, as far as what they sold to the public. But and you know, it's one that I've done a very long time ago. Believe it or not, you know, these two kits are built here. While you know, this one's Revell, this one is Revell monogram based, but this is a conversion kit. So that's kind of, I'll start with the bonus on that first. So, and then these are the different issues. This is the 1995 issue, the first release. This is the 2007 issue, and this is the brand new 2019 issue. And I want to just talk about them and briefly go over them. There's a lot of kit reviews on this particular one, so there's a lot of people building this one and have built it. I have yet to build it, but I'm looking forward to doing it. But I'll get into that in a second. But to go back before 1995, if you wanted to build this Cuda, you bought this. This is a resin conversion kit, and I've had it a very long time. I bought a bunch of them. It's actually like one of the first resin conversion kits I did. Just to show you, this is from MPB Detail Products, and we're talking like 1989, 1990. When I found out about them, I was still in high school, and I bought this kit. And then there's directions on how to trim the body, how to use the hood, more directions of what to do. But you built this from two kits. The 1/24 scale 71 Hemi Cuda, you used pretty much the body from that one, and you bought, and the interior, and then you also bought the monogram Revell 70 TA Challenger, and you used the entire chassis and the engine from that kit. And then you just added the grill insert right here. That's the resin grill insert, which is on that one. And then you modified the taillights of the 71 body, and you put these taillights in there. Kind of crude. And then back in the day, you don't see this anymore with resin. Here's a vacuum formed hood. Here's the top half. Here's the bottom half. And then you trimmed it to the size you needed, because this is one of those hoods. So you can see how much trimming you did. And then the underside, which is this section right here. But like this one right here, that's a 30-year-old build for me. And I said it's got the TA Challenger underside and the 71 Cuda body, and you filled in here. The only thing was, it didn't really have a valance, so I modified the original valance from the 71 and made it more like the 70 and fit it. And then I did resin cast these for a couple more of my builds. So this was like my first experience with resin conversion kits, was this. And I bought multiple of them. I had planned to do more. I lost the rear spoiler. It came with this rear spoiler, which is why this one is bigger than this one. I lost it somewhere along the line. It's gone. But it's not a big deal today. Now it's just a relic. And then at the time, MPB, they also just sold you the grill and the taillights to take the 71 and convert it into a 70. And I've done a few of those as well. But I figured, you know, if I'm going to do this, I might as well start with what was available back in when I really got into it and I wanted to build this. And since this survives, this isn't truly a survivor from when I built it in 1990, because about 15 years ago I did strip the paint, repaint it, fix a couple things, and added the vinyl top. So I fixed this one up, but I'll probably do a video specifically on that build. And then in 1995, when this kit came out, that's this one. So I did build this one, and I liked it. Revell got a lot of grief about the body and the chopped roof, which never bothered me. You know, when I put the two together, you can see the difference between those two bodies, but it never really bothered me. But I enjoyed building this one. This one's right out of the box. So nothing really special about it. But to get specifically into the kits, I'll move these out of the way so that I can explain more on the kits, because the interesting part is these kits, all three of them are different. So if you're shopping and you see these kits, I want you to know the original one, the 1995, here's the parts. This one is completely unbuilt. So you know, I've got this one, but it's completely unbuilt, and then there's the front end. But some of these parts are taken right from the TA kit. I mean, the entire engine, the chassis, it's even still got the TA part, some of the parts on there. But the 340 engine, all the engine parts, the chassis from 1984, they just added all the Cuda parts and converted it into the Cuda. So here's the body. Alright, and then this is still kind of attached. There's the rear valance, the firewall, and the battery in the engine compartment. And then all of the rest of the AAR Cuda hood, the Challenger hood scoop is still here. It's actually got both spoilers, one from the Challenger, one from the Cuda. And then the dash and all the chassis. And one of the parts that was kind of unusual about it is the rear tail bumper is completely chrome, and then you can detail paint that as you want. So they did it this way, but this bumper looks kind of funny, but it didn't bother me personally. I enjoyed building it, and until this kit came out, this was my personal favorite. But that's this particular kit, and I'll get into some of the differences here. Now I'm going to leave this body out. When they came out with this kit, they retooled it. There was enough complaints about the kit. Now this one has been started. I stripped the chassis. The interior and the chassis, the engine, all of those components are carried over right from this kit into this kit. And also, these are 1/24 scale because they're based on the old Monogram kit, so they're 1/24 scale. So these parts are converted over at the whole Cuda interior. But most of this kit stayed the same. The parts that did not stay the same is all the body parts. So they retooled a whole new body. And here's the front valance, the hood, the body, and the rear valance. Got right here. Here's a chrome tree, and the windows. So the entire interior, this one still has some of the Cuda parts in it. There's the Challenger hood scoop on the Challenger parts, and the Challenger spoiler. And then there's the another version of the TA spoiler. So when they retooled this body, they did a couple of things. I mean, it's almost the entire chrome tree is run over. The valve covers were removed, but they're on this one. But those parts stay the same. So you can see they only modified the bumpers because the body was changed, so the bumpers had to be changed. And the taillights are not in here anymore. And then compared to this one. So they completely changed both bumpers. The wheels and tires stayed the same. The only difference is this kit had the plain tires with no wording on them, and these had the lettered tires. So that's the chrome trees. But the bodies are completely different. So if you can see that. And then the roof is the major difference. And then the back of the roof. This one's got a really awkward roof, and the trunk is longer, and it just really looks strange in that respect compared to the green one. So this one way different. The tail is where it's completely different. It tapers in at a different angle, and it looks kind of strange. The front itself doesn't look too bad, but this piece, it's at a completely different angle, and it's molded closed in here, and it really looks kind of awkward. I haven't built this one. And then same thing with the rear panel. I mean, the rear's kind, you know, it's an improvement, kind of. You can detail it out, but it's still kind of awkward and at a really different angle. And this thing really tapers in right here. So the whole back half of this section, they got a whole lot of grief about this one. Oh, I got some body damage right there I got to fix. I do plan to build this one more for giggles, just to say that I built it. And the hood's different, so all the body components between these two kits, even though they share the same chassis, they're actually completely different and they're not interchangeable because they retooled them. And then the windows are different. This one added quarter windows, and then the taillights are actually in clear for the yellow version, the 2007 version, versus the 1995 version. So that's that one in a nutshell. And then, you know, out comes, this is a modified tool, but it's not related to this. If you saw the 2013 Hemi Cuda that came out, 70 Cuda, that's 1/25th scale. And beautiful kit. I bought it and I have not built it. I have yet to build it, just like this one. I've got a lot of Cudas, and I've built a lot of Cudas. I built a lot of the earlier ones. So I haven't built some of the newest tools, but I'm actually itching to build this one. So I think I'll probably end up building this one and this one side by side. But the first thing I gotta say is, you know, when you talk, it's different scale. It's completely different chassis. I mean, there's nothing the same about it. But there's the body, and it's, like I said, it's 1/24th or 1/25th scale, so you can see how much smaller it actually is. But, and you know, different door handles. So some people notice some of the differences there between the kits, but I mean, there's some major differences. And then the front valance is molded in on this one. And then it's got its hood, but it's got a ton of parts for this one. So I mean, everybody's been throwing up the parts that come with this. It's more of a die-cast style as far as the interior tub, and it's all separate pieces. And then the battery and the rear diff cover, and so there's a lot of more beautiful molded parts. It's got some of the Hemi parts in the kit, but it's got its engines. There's the grill and the valance panel. This is the non-Cuda valance panel, but it has the painted bumpers, so you can do the painted bumpers as well. That's the non-AAR would have the filled in. This is the regular Hemi Cuda. Then the interior, you know, you've seen all these parts before, but there's the air cleaner and the 340 parts, and the actual exhaust and the rear spoiler, and the hood. So it's kind of fun to think that they've done this a few different times, come out with these kits. And another area that they all differ. Let me put some of these parts away. I'm getting them all spread out all over the place here. But the decals are all completely different as well. Let's get the decals from the latest issue. Here's its decal sheet, which looks really, really good. It's kind of awkward right here in the quarter. It doesn't quite kick up as much. So, but it only comes in black, which is pretty much, it's technically upside down. It's pretty much how they were, black stripes. White stripes I don't believe were available on the Cuda at all, on the AAR Cuda. And this is the sheet from this issue right here, also in black. So it's pretty nice. Actually, I'll hold them up a little closer to the camera here. So there's latest issue, second issue, and then for comparison, the first issue. Which I always liked this sheet personally. It just, you know, and this one has the white set. Like I said, I used the white ones on my red car, but I believe none of them actually came with the white ones. So now I got to decide on a couple of different colors. But so I'll just share you some of that information so you guys know what you're buying when you see the box art, what to expect in the kits, because it's kind of funny to think that they would do 3 different versions or 3 different attempts to build the same car. But I got to give it up to Revell for not giving up, even though they got a lot of heat for what they did. That they didn't give up and they kept building, and they came out with a kit, even though it took a number of years. But I really like this kit. I can't wait to build this one. I'll build this one anyway, just that way I have all 4 versions lined up next to each other, and that's more for my entertainment. But I figured I would share that with you guys and ramble on about them and let you guys know what really is in these kits, because I've run into a number of people that don't realize that they are completely different. So I just wanted to put that out there and share it with you. Not really, I can't believe they did this one, and I thought this one was good. I liked it. The issues didn't bother me too much. This one's pretty kind of out there. I don't really, they modified the tool from that to that one. So they came out with that one, and it's got some other issues. It's kind of hard to believe that they came out, but they gave that one an issue, and it didn't work out. And but then they came out with this one, and they based it all on this one. And wow, this one's beautiful. Looking forward to build this one. The only thing that the wheel lips, to me, these stick out pretty far, but they have molded in wheel opening moldings that I'm just going to sand off, and it should make them disappear a little bit, so they shouldn't stick out so far. But I'll sand them off a little bit, because the AAR Cuda doesn't have moldings here, and it doesn't have the moldings down here, but the regular Hemi Cuda did. But that's the only thing that kind of bothers me with this one. But it's not bad. I like it. And I've got some MPC ones as well, and that one seems to be the holy grail and the benchmark is the MPC kit. But at least this one's 1/24 scale, or 1/25 scale, and these ones are 1/24. So you can see the size difference between all of them. Some people that bothers them. To me, it never really did. But I just wanted to share that, and since I had all 3 kits, and I want to thank BG for loaning me this kit and give me this one. I told him I wanted to do this video, so he provided, because I've had these kits, built this one, but he provided the kits for me. And this one, I'm going to give it back to him, even though I opened the bag to show you guys. But I'm going to give that back to him. But I'm going to build these 2. But I really wanted you guys to see what was in the kits and get it out there for your acknowledgement, and if you find them. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, and you guys have a wonderful day.